Welcome back to part two of Airy Sky Ridley's video blog. I'm Krabby McCoffee, also known as Airy Sky. Coffee Time with Rita. If you're new to the channel, hit the like, subscribe, and thumbs up. If you're a comer back or welcome back, school's back in session. Sorry, I had to use the restroom. That's why I ran out. But the most important thing is, of you preppers out there, is why the people in the country, America and others, aren't prepping? Because they're relying on Uncle Sam and others to basically bail them out. Second reason is they don't think anything's going to happen. Plain and simple. So, because of it, they've lost all hope. Third reason they're not prepping, and this is a good reason. I'll give family members who talk to me about it. It's out of their control. Think about it. Now, the Democrats want to control everything by basically investigating Abbott and DeSantis for sending taxpayers' money illegals. But again, we're handing the illegals a rubber check while everyone else is suffering. And the preppers who are prepping because of this problem. But 6 months ago to a year ago, I told you guys you got to keep prepping because this is just a test, to see how far they can push the country. Now, when you look at groceries and you look at pricing, eventually you're going to see meat going up. You're not going to see steaks for $4.99 or $5.99 a pound for prime rib. You're going to see like $20 to $30 a pound for prime rib or more. And unless they can get the livestock problem under control. And that wasn't just because of drought. It's because we didn't have grain coming in to feed them. Also, I was talking to a guy who makes beer for the brewery. And wheat, barley, and rye, they use those components also for making booze, is going up in price. So your liquor is going up. So not only is your beef going up and your chicken's going up, but your liquor is going up. Your beers are going up, your wines are going up, and your spirits are going up, whatever the formulation is, and they use a lot of wheat and rye for bourbons and Canadians and scotches and whatever else formula for gin. And, the agave is getting harder to grow, so agave plants are going up in price, which means tequila is going up. So if you look at your booze and the things that people are doing, the country is now learning, like Bill Gates said, cannot sustain itself because we have all these countries in the world. We have, 10 billion people and not enough food to go around. We're going to see a lot of hunger going around because of it. And, they're going to start to cut down. The other problem we have with why people aren't prepping is because, like I said, they're relying on the government to bail them out. Fortunately, what happens when, you can't people realize the government ain't bailing them out. Then there's the other problem in this country. We don't have enough jobs to go around to support these people. I mean, literally, you got to reinvent the country every decade, it seems, when, the technological boom happens. Let's basically computerize everything, restaurants and everything else, I mean, you got to look at the big picture here. They're basically reinventing. We used to have factories. People used to go to restaurants in the morning. Then from the restaurants, they would go to work. Now there's not enough going around, you see. So to me, I'm here to tell you like it is. They're not prepping because the government doesn't want you guys to prep, you see. Anyways, out of love for you all, the American people, out of love for you all, you got to ask yourself the big question, which is, how much more are you going to realize and not rely on the government? There's so many people that's relying on the government. Preppers, they're not relying. What the preppers are doing is they're relying on the government to bail them out. And they have so much faith that the government's going to raise the debt ceiling. If the debt ceiling's raised, then they can say, oh, see, I told you debt ceiling raised. Then what? Then they're going to sit back and say, we get our freebies and not prep. And then what's the next thing on those? Natural disasters. Because they say, well, the government's not going to let people hang living in a zone where there's tornadoes and hurricanes and any other natural disaster that wipe their house out. Government will bail them out and give them a new home. I mean, it's not our job to support someone who's literally turning around and basically, it's not our job to give someone. If you live in an area where there's an earthquake and your house is devastated, well, it's nature. Oh, well, I can't rebuild. The government needs to give me a new house. And that's where FEMA comes in. Thing is, we have too many programs handing out things. I mean, it'd be like my cousin-in-law's house in Texas being wiped clean. You think they're going to sit there and be like, we're near the new house? No, they're going to go to the insurance company, do their job, do what they need to, and they'll get another one built, realizing this is a once-in-a-lifetime thing where their house got devastated. But the thing is they'd go to the insurance part. They wouldn't rely on Uncle Sam to give them a new house. Problem is, there's too many people out there that rely on Uncle Sam for everything. I mean, literally everything. Think about it. Chew on that one. Yeah, because Americans, they're not worried about it. They think if Uncle Sam can divert the debt ceiling and raise it, then the people think they don't need to prep in case of nuclear war or civil war. And then when civil war happens, they're on the wrong side of history. Now, say civil war doesn't happen, the U.S. government quells that. They'll be like, see, these preppers are just so insane. Then World War III happens. 90% of the countries, or 90% of the world's nuked. Then what? What do they do then? They turn around and say, oh, well, I mean, think about it from my point of view, people. I mean, that's all I'm saying. When you got taxpayers literally relying on the government to bail them out all the time to save their butts, and then the government basically screws over your mail, screws over your news feeds, where you're sitting there and you're reading about Pence, Biden, and Trump, but you're not getting to the crux of inflation or Great Depression or banking collapse or nuclear war or civil war or any of those. And you're sitting there and they're doing this to keep the feeds clean so people can worry about other dumb stuff. Remember what I said. Higgins was saying, how can you believe that is our problem? Literally, Higgins goes to the store. If he pays $9 for a sausage rope, it's because they're charging him sales tax. Well, I don't know about sales tax. They're charging him a delivery fee to the grocery store, and then they're charging other fees just to get it to him. And each company's got to pay their own overages just to get it to him. So he's paying in the embedded of the cost of the sausage. It's like Zoe. Zoe goes and let's say Zoe buys fresh vegetables at the farmer's market. Farmer's market's got to raise their prices a bit just so she can have her food, which means, hypothetically, they're putting extra cost on her to cover the fuel to move it. And maybe a little extra cost for the seeds and for the water and for the planting and the gasoline to use the rototiller or whatever they're doing, the tilling and all this stuff just to get it up there. So it might the item might be 50 cents a head of lettuce, but she gets out it might be $4 a head because she's got to pay for fresh lettuce because the farmer has to cover his overages. And by the way, fertilizer, we're having a fertilizer problem again. So you see all these problems in this country. You got to ask the question. And that is, why aren't you prepping? Because more likely you think the government's going to bail you out. And then if the government doesn't bail you out, and the Republicans are doing something wrong, you'll just vote the Republicans out. And still demand the taxpayers pay for your freebies. Bottom line, keep on prepping, because that's the only way you're going to survive. We're still not out of the woods yet. A lot of preppers email me and say, what happens if nothing happens by 2024? Am I going to eat my hat? Or am I going to change my channel again? Well, I'm not going politics. That's something I'm not going to do. But, sake of the argument, I will do what I can. To survive. So in the meantime, that's what I wanted to tell you. Why Americans aren't prepping? Because they all rely on Uncle Sam. Think about it. You live in a world where as long as handouts and subsidies are happening, you don't worry about it. But you know what? When they take that away from you, then you tell the government they're going to get holy hell for it. No, the government doesn't get holy hell for you taking away their benefits. They're giving you holy hell for relying on them for too long. That's why you got to keep prepping just in case. The other thing is some people can't afford to prep because pricing is too high. That's the other reason why they're not prepping. They're turning around and they're not prepping. You go down there. I mean, look at this. 30-day supply. I used to get 90-day supply. 90-day supply, by the way, for $4. 30-day supply, nearly $30 to $40. Think about it. You get a cost of living increase, look what the companies do to you. This is why they want to bring you down. This is why you got to ask yourself the big questions. I just cut out another 3 streaming services this month, cutting down corners. Why? Because channels I don't use, cut them out. That's going to save me a lot of money. Why? Because you got a cord cut. You see, when you start seeing the auto pricing, right? And they send you a message saying after January 15th or January 10th or January 2nd, they're raising prices or whatever. That's when you need to get out of streaming. You sit there, you can use Tubi, you can Roku, you can use Crackle. Why would you want to use any other channel? Why would you want to use channels that you have to pay for? Tell you why, because some people say, oh, it's great. Truth is in the pudding, people. You got to start cutting corners, saving as much money as you can for prepping. That's what I do. Of course, the dinner last night, which people say I'm a bigot, was a business deal, business meal. Yeah. I had business and I got it taken care of. I had 2 meetings yesterday and they were both productive. Truth is in the pudding. Point taken is look at what you're prepping for. Higher prices in case natural disaster. But they don't want to do it. They think Uncle Sam will get them out of the natural disaster. And they think Uncle Sam's going to bail them out when it comes to nuclear war, civil war, and banking collapse. Well, how did that work for you guys? You had to wait several years with no money and no jobs during the first Great Depression that was here in 1929 that I can remember. Think about it. How did that work out for you guys? Is anyone that's from the 20s still alive? I'd like to hear your guys' story about the Great Depression. We'd like to hear it. Because Americans keep on doing what they're doing. Yeah. You see too many people out there relying on the government to bail them out or give them freebies or handouts, subsidies. Eventually, you got to prep for the worst. What is the worst? What I tell you is isn't he cute? So basically, that is the thing. And, pricing is going up. People are seeing electronics and gizmos going down, but food's going up. What they're doing is they're basically trying to price out everything that you need to sustain yourself, and yet they're pricing out everything else that's low. Secondly, companies are going to go bankrupt due to the fact that no one's going to be buying stuff. They say, oh, we have great years and great things. Yeah, because credit's propping up these companies. But once people stop using credit, companies will all crumble and collapse and bankrupt. Can't live on credit. You got to realize you use what you have until it's broken, or you fix it again and again and again so you can keep using it. That's the problem. Most people, something gets broken, they go buy a new one. They don't hesitate. But think about it, in this world, too many people in this world are only relying on what the government can give them. We used to be a self-sufficient country. A lot of people want it back that way. But you got so many countries buying our bonds to float this country that we're so far in debt that they want their money. And they're putting us notice. It's another reason why you got to prep. But guess what? You guys don't care. You think Uncle Sam will fix the debt ceiling. Uncle Sam will fix this. Uncle Sam will fix that. You'll get your benefits. That's it. Think of it. I tried to tell Brother Higgins the other day, it is our problem. Our problem is this. The government turns around. Guess what the government does? They literally turn around and tell Higgins he ain't worth him saving $10,000 because the system's broken. But at the same time, the system wants to stay broken so they can keep the people down and poor. And yet, you can sit there and contact every member of Congress every day, and no one's going to do diddly crap. They're going to say, sorry, no. Meanwhile, they don't want to do anything for their constituents. They're more worried about their own pockets. And yet, Americans need to ask themselves, why? When price of living goes up for you, they raise everything. They sit there and say, oh, your HBO is now going to be $20. Your Showtime is going to be $20. Your Stars is going to be $10. Your Disney is going to be $10. Commercial free. All these things, $10 accumulates, right? So then when you look at it, they just nickel and dime you. So if you sit there and say, okay, Americans all turn around and say, I don't need these streaming services, you'll end up go bankrupt. Then what? Then they go cry to government, oh, you need to subsidize for the poor people because they all left because they can't afford it. Let me put it to you this way. I was talking to someone the other day, right? If you live in an apartment subsidized, you pay your electric bill, you have your phone, and you have your food. Everything else is a bonus, like a computer. It's a luxury item. Some people can't afford it. It's a luxury item, Think about it. Everything you think about is a luxury item. Yeah. So, truth's in the pudding, people. If it's not needed, it's a luxury item. So, for you preppers out there, why are we prepping? Because we have to. Prices are going to go through the roof. Beef shortages are going to get worse. Chicken shortages, eventually stores and restaurants are going to have to cut out chicken and beef products, leaving you with what's left. Yeah. Leaves you with lamb, pork, buffalo. And think about this. The American people ran out of beef and ran out of chicken, and they had eggs laid. They'd raise the pricing on everything. Chicken would go up again, like it has been. Then what? People would switch over to lamb. What happens if lamb and sheep meat went up in price to the point where we have a lamb and sheep problem because all these people like meat? Then they turn around and they buy up all the pigs. Then you've just caused not just a meat shortage in this country, but a severe pandemic of food because some of these companies make TV dinners, which means your TV dinners, your frozen pork meals, chicken meals, and beef meals just go up again. To the point where you're going to have to start buying grains. macaroni and cheese, canned soups. And canned soups will go up. You'll sit there and be like, oh, I'm going to buy this soup. And then you find out your chicken noodle soup went from the old 29 cents can when I remember, 25 to 29 cents can to 99 cents to like $3 a can. They're going to raise it to $6 or $9 a can. Then what happens when you open up, you look at Campbell's and it's $9 a can for one thing and you say, how expensive? They'll cut out the chicken. They'll give you like 2 pieces of chicken, charge you $9 and say it costs money to make chicken broth. Or you might get a beef stew in a can. I know one of my mods love is Dinty Moore. What if he turns out a can of Dinty Moore is $9 a can? Then what? He's going to sit there and pay it? Or is he going to change his food habits? I would change the food habits, but I'm not going to belittle him either. Thing is, in this day and age, with food shortages the way it is, and the way we consume so much meat, I mean, literally, pricing is going to get to the point where people are going to have to start cut corners. They're going to start to realize by 2024's financial problems, they're going to have to cut out more streaming services. They're going to have to cut out services that they like to eat because pricing on food is going to go through the roof. It's going to basically make us third world country. But there's another reason why we're going to have all these problems. As a prepper, think about it. I was reading an article the other day about Amazon. Good prepper article, too. Guy went to look up spatulas. That was the keyword. There was like 100,000 different types of spatulas. When he started using the side filters, he got it down to what he was looking for. Then he had found out what he was looking for was expensive. But when you have a store like Amazon bringing in everything from Chinese-made brands like Zoe brand to Chloe brand, to Higgins brand, to Pee-wee brand, to Fanny brand, to Rita brand, you got to ask yourself the big pictures. How many freaking brands? I remember growing up, going into Zoe loves my stories, by the way. Sears. I'd get there, I'd go to the video game section. My mom would go and get games for me, right? She'd go upstairs and, by my birthday, she would talk about going upstairs, buying a stereo system. She could have went with Radio Shack. She could have went with the Sears brand, whatever it is, Kenmore, whatever radio brand it was. She could have went with, what? She went in there and she says, oh, for my kid's stereo, I want this one. And they're like, well, for a starter set, this. She said, no, I want this one. It had, it's like one of those that the old components in the old 80s, 90s where it stood up. It was like a 4-foot stereo system and it had 7 speakers or something, and all put together nicely. That's for birthday, right? She'd sit there, and then she'd go to the sporting goods section and go and buy me several fishing poles. I love fishing. And then she would do other things, right? Then she'd go to the video game department. And then she'd say, go down to electronic boutiques, Babbage's, Software Acceptor, GameStop, Funko Land. And we'd go around the mall doing, she was buying my birthday Christmas presents without me knowing. And you know what? My mother used to say, this country's going to go down the toilet because there's too many brands. You got RCA, you got Sears brand, you got Kenmore, you got Maytag, you got GE, you got Samsung, you got LG. Then the same applies for TVs, Zenith, Toshiba, Panasonic. Sorry to say, but think about it. LG, Panasonic. All these different brands, and you got these guys working commission trying to sell you the best item possible. Think about it. This is why our country's down the toilet right now. You got too many cheap stuff coming in the country, and they're manufacturing it for their own Chinese brands. And you don't know what is what anymore. You just think it's going to be good. And then when you buy it, it's junk. I mean, literally, Japan used to bring in, remember the old days when we had Hitachi, JVC, Mitsubishi, Hitachi, even Kenwood. Kenwood makes radios, I think, still, but you get the idea. There's too many brand names out there. Country is saturated with too much junk. So everyone is trying to make a buck. Oh, we make this product for you. It's only $2. You can pay American brand that's $15, but we sell for $2. I mean, think of it this way. There's companies out there. There's one company in China that makes fly rods, right? They manufacture for like 40 different companies in the U.S. and around the world. There's like 4 companies that make rods out of Korea. And then you have the American-made ones are very few. Hardy's went to South Korea. They used to be English-made. You see, they're basically taking all their knowledge and sending it overseas to make a buck. And then they raise the price and say, oh, well, we got to meet the current. Really? First, fly rod shortage because no one's buying fly rods because they're all stuck in a container somewhere in one of our ports. 2 is everyone's sick in China, so they got a lockdown. And 3 is to get a decent one, you got to buy an American-made rod. Now, how do you get an American-made one? Well, they bring in the right equipment and everything to make it. But you want Chinese-made? Chinese-made used to be $49 back in the day. Then they raised it to $69. Then they raised it to $99. Then they raised it to $169. Now they're raising it to $269. People are sitting there saying, well, enough's enough. I mean, literally. Then they say a lifetime warranty. Then they say we don't guarantee a lifetime warranty. Then you basically say, oh, you got to pay $75 per repair. I mean, literally, the thing is, this country's going down the toilet, and it's because of the saturation of the market, and everyone is relying on China for cheap crap. And yet, Americans are saying, look, if we're going to give a decent wage, we might as well put factories in all 50 states that make TVs and radios and cell phones and shortwave radios and ham radios and computers and everything that Americans use in the consumer market, we can make at home. But guess what? These companies don't want to do it because they want to sit there and milk China. And China's saying, look, no one's buying over there. You see? So you got people thinking, do I need to buy this or do I need to buy food? And a lot of these preppers aren't thinking. A lot of preppers like me are thinking about pricing going up. That's why we secure things now. But other people, they just sit there and they belly and go, oh, well, I went out the other day and I had to buy a gallon of gas and it was $5. And then I say, well, it's not my problem. Then they say, oh, well, it is. No, it isn't. The only time a gallon of gas is my problem is if I order something and my order is delayed a week because the delivery truck can't make it or whatever reason, then it is my problem. But if I don't drive, what is it? It is our problem because some people pass the savings on to the person who's ordering the item. Your item might be, your phone might be $39, brand new out the door and box brand new, but to get it home, it might cost you another $20 in shipping because you got to pay the fuel charge for the plane, or the truck, you got to pay this, you got to pay that, and you have to have it delivered. So they tack it on with the price of fuel. But other people sit there and they say, oh, well, price of food. Has anyone ever thought the price of food is because of the fact that they got to incorporate the gas price or the delivery fee? Or you think your food should be 50 cents a head of lettuce and you tell the farmers to kiss your butt? I mean, literally, think about it. The Americans are getting so damn greedy. You got corporations want to cut corners and go to China. You got grocery stores trying to cut corners by raising their prices but not paying a decent wage to the farmers. And then you got us sitting there complaining about, oh, well, I went out today and I bought this rotisserie chicken and it was $15. Have you ever thought that the rotisserie chicken came by the case? And they had to buy it, and it was loaded on a ferry and came over here. So instead of being $4.99 for a chicken at Costco, because it's the mainland, you're paying the chicken's paying for you're paying for the chicken's fare on the ferry to get over here so you can eat it. Think about it. I mean, literally, sit there and complain. Oh, my price of food went up. Yeah, it's because they got to raise the rates now. A lot of people say the railroads are making money. They are. They're making money hand over fist. But you know what? They don't want to part with anything. All these companies want more and more money. And what's going to happen? This country is going to collapse under the collapse of greed. Think of it. They don't care about their average man. They want to sit there. One side wants to say we have to give abortions. Why? Tell you why they want abortions legalized. Because the abortion clinic makes money off the taxpayers. Take that away, then what? Abortion clinics don't make money. You sit there and you take away $100,000 to $500,000 sex change at the taxpayer's expense. What happens? Clinics don't make money. They're advocating because they can sit there and say, oh, it saves lives. We got to save their lives. Really? So from 4 years old to 18 years old, before we give a little boy or a young man, I should say, not a little boy, a young man, a cooter, think about it. It could have cost over $1 million of your taxpayers' money for 4 years or 3 years of hormone blockers, doctors, appointments, everything. This is why the Republicans are stopping it, for example. But you know what? They're going to sit there and vote all these Republicans out because they think it's wrong that, you're denying sex changes or, I mean, think about it. The government has no oversight. The government can be self-sufficient if they have oversight, allowing some companies in and not others. Amazon warehouses would run more efficiently if we didn't have Wong Dong Ding Dong brand name KY jelly. I was looking at the Advocate had this thing the other day in their office, right? And there's this thing. It says take what you need, right? It's like bar soap and hygiene products. And I'm sitting there laughing, and the secretary, she's a sweetheart. So what's wrong? I said, oh, you guys got lubricating jelly. She says, I said, so you guys promote sex. And she says, oh, yes, we do. And I was just sitting there shaking my head going, you're promoting sex in a place the taxpayers, man, the taxpayers paid for the KY jelly or the KY jelly substitute. It said lubricated jelly. So you see, when you look at all these pricing, you got to ask yourself, you're paying for Tampax, you're paying for lubrication jelly, you're paying for bar soap, all this stuff. And yet, you sit there and you wonder how bad the country is when you're sitting there waiting for a meeting and you're looking at a box, cases of lubricated jelly, and you're wondering why. And then you hear, oh, we got to promote safe sex. Why not promote no sex? I mean, if you're promoting safe sex under 18, there's a problem. Well, there's a lot of teenagers. I don't want to hear it. All I said to the lady was, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to see the taxpayers paying for it. It's like paying for a sex change. I mean, they say, oh, it saves lives. Really? Then pay it out of your own damn pocket because the taxpayers ain't paying for it. Truth's in the pudding. We shouldn't be paying for it. What we should be paying for is getting this country on its feet. But a lot of you preppers that are prepping with me, damn good and well the country's going down the crapper. And the reason the debt ceiling got out of hand is because of all the frivolous spending. Free phones, free internets, free sex changes, free food stamps, free this, free that. And you're not even, and if the government wanted to regulate things, they could regulate to a point of what brands could come in this country instead of ding dong, wong dong products from China, which we don't need. I mean, literally, if someone's looking for a spatula or looking for something, the taxpayers should be paying, So, in the meantime, think about that. That's all I can say, peeps. Think about it. I mean, you need to keep prepping. And if you don't prep, well, that's not my problem. Because a lot of you will go hungry because you didn't listen. And if nothing does happen, then you're going to wag it at your fingers and say the preppers are wrong. Don't listen to them. They're not worth your time on YouTube because what are we getting? Or doom and gloom? I'm not doom and gloom. I'm here to tell you the facts. And facts are you all need to basically get moving. So, in the meantime, I got to get going. I got to get prepared soon to mosey along on some other stuff I got to do today. Farmers Market, Ace Hardware. and so forth. But I thought I'd give you my opinions and thoughts. Just keep on prepping. Americans, they all think that government will bail them out. I think it's going to get worse before it gets better. So, with that said, you know what I know. You know what I think. Too many brand names out there. Half of them you don't know anything about. So, in the meantime, keep on prepping. Prep like your life depends on it. In the meantime, I will be getting Chloe up soon. Gotta wash my face up, moisturize it, and get ready to go. So, um, thanks for watching, and you have a great day. I won't be on tomorrow. It's Sunday, so um, all is well in the world of Rita. Monday, I don't know what the plan is. I'll check the planner, and I'll get back to you. In the meantime, keep on prepping like your life depends on it. It ain't going to get any easier. It's going to get worse. And just remember, this last month food stamps, which means last month free of internet, last month of internet food stamps for the pandemic and cell phone. Now, if you have regular food stamps, you'll keep your cell phone. But the point is think about it this way. Like I said, it's going to get worse. Hey, Chris. It's going to get worse due to the fact that we have problems with beef shortage. That's one of the things I did with smaller videos. You know, as I told you guys, we have a beef shortage. Beef shortage is pretty bad, which means eventually food's going to go up like crazy. We're already seeing our macaroni. How goes it, Chris? Our macaroni, our pasta is going up in price because of grain. We know our eggs are going up. We know our chicken's gone up because we lost a lot of egg-laying chickens. Well, you know, so you got to ask yourself the big question, which is, how much more are you willing to? And before I go, I will sit down for 5 or 10 minutes. There is a live chat in here. Chris just messaged, so I will stay in for a few minutes. I will use the restroom, and I'll come back. But you know, the point is you got to look at the numbers. We have 29 million head of beef. That means everything that's in a can, as I said earlier, brother Chris here, who's a moderator, likes his Dinty Moore stew, and that's going to go up in price through the roof, just like steak, because, you know, we have 29 million head of cattle. We're under a 1962 low, and that means our price is going to go up. And as everyone knows, I love numbers. Antibodies block COVID. Yeah, I already had every variant, so I really can block it myself. Okay. So to wrap this up, I want to say for you preppers out there that the American people need to realize once the budget, if they don't raise it, they're going to start cutting corners, which means there's not going to be enough people out there to buy food. Yeah, which means without food stamps, without SSI, SSDI, retirement survivors, stores will go under too, which means preppers are going to need to get into their prep. So this is why I'm prepping you, because frankly, you know, in chicken eggs, I'm not going to read that, man. I have no intentions of reading it. And besides, Every time I post something about coronavirus, or as we call it, the Ronavirus, YouTube basically blocks or deletes my videos. So I don't even bring up coronavirus related crap because I've lost a lot of videos recently to supposedly misinformation. So if I focus on the topic at hand, Chris, I won't lose my videos because YouTube's being such a complete punk. Oh, and someone emailed me, and when I get this time, okay, cool. Oh, I love that email. That was great. Hello, Kane. So, anyways, the bottom line for you guys is this, okay? Is I'm not going to lose my YouTube channel because of this. I mean, I already get enough misinformation, the email once or twice a week, where older video that's prepping video um, or a stimulus video where they turned around and took away my video because they said it was misinformation. So what they're doing is they're trying to control what I do and what I can and can't say on YouTube. And their algorithms getting to the point where whatever word triggers it, that's it. Once I get off the video, they turn around and terminate my service or my video and say I don't get a strike, but it's misinformation. And they delete it or they archive it or so for us YouTube preppers out there, we got to be very careful. I mean, literally, there's a guy that's getting dinged every time he turns around about nuclear war possibly coming. And that's something I'm trying to prep you guys for. The government ain't going to bail you out. I mean, literally, the numbers are coming out now, that vaccines don't work. But at the same time, the numbers are coming out also that there's a beef shortage, and eventually prices are going to go up to the point where no one's going to be able to buy beef. And I was thinking about that the other day because I do like my Velveeta skillet box meals. Hey, Kane, how goes it? I'm not going to eat more eggs because I have heart disease. So I'm not going to kill myself on cholesterol just because. I mean, literally, whoever wants to eat more eggs and wants to have cholesterol is fine. Now, if there's a way to do it without in the egg beaters, I would do that because they're cholesterol free. But if they're regular eggs, I won't touch it. And yes, Kane, I did meet Chloe's mom. That was a real wing ding by itself last Saturday. I mean, last Saturday, as you know, and then my computer went down. I had to reinstall Windows. That took 4 days with everything I had to do. And so I'm just getting into the mood right now, but I don't want to spend an hour on video. I got to get ready to go to farmer's market soon. But, to answer your question, yes, I did meet Chloe's mom and for a few hours anyways. Let's just say I went along for free lunch and dinner. And Chloe went along to mooch whatever she could from mom. So, it was an interesting thing, actually. Yes, well, I hear from moderator Zoe, the egg beaters are really good, for people with cholesterol problems. And like I said, I don't eat anything that isn't, why do you think I only eat 2 or 3 times a year eggs when it comes to frying them? I only do it on 2 courses, either fried egg sandwich, or I do it because I want eggs for breakfast, or something else came. But to ask your question, yeah, I did answer Chloe's mom. Let me tell you, that was a real hoot. I went there just for the free food. And Chloe was mooching everything from coffee shops to candy shops to booze shops to toy shops to, oh my God, we went to every store on this dang island, it seems, in our city at least, or our town. And then the wind picked up and it felt like frozen popsicles. So, So you know how it is. Well, I'm not going to basically talk about something I have nothing to comment on, Chris. That's the thing. I'm not going to comment on these due to the fact that I'm not going to lose my YouTube channel. I've already got like so many videos on misinformation on stimulus checks talking about the election that they're basically coming down hard on. Let me put it this way, Chris, okay? I'm not going to belittle you. I'm not going to tear you down, but let me just tell you what YouTube's doing to me. They're literally cracking down on anyone who's a prepper. They're cracking down on anyone who's for or against the leftists, the rightists. They're literally cracking down on anyone on the political spectrum. I mean, literally, I can't basically open my chili hole without getting in trouble. And so when it comes to YouTube, they're literally, I've been looking at other channels or other places to go to do freedom of speech because they're not giving me the freedom of speech. Literally, I mean, they're like flagging videos, they're doing all these different things, and it's wrong, So, they're literally even going after other people on YouTube as well, I mean, I watched this one video guy, and he's got basically half his vids on YouTube, the important parts off of YouTube because they don't want YouTube removing the entire crux of the story because they claim that it's wrong, it's misinformation. Other guys are getting the same thing, so but anyways, I better get moving along soon. Yes, Kane, I know you eat egg beaters. Sorry. On the other hand, like I said, I got to get moving soon. I got to get to the farmers market. I don't remember when they open, so I'm going to check their website real quick. But I want to go to the farmers market. Then I want to go to Ace. And I want to get things moving along because, frankly, I don't like being on YouTube this long anymore. I find short videos to be to my liking because it helps subscribers as well as helps you get to know the crux of the problem. So, and before I remember, what was it I was looking up again? You see, YouTube is really pissing me off. So, I just can't remember what I was thinking about doing. I woke up overheated, so I figured, farmers market, right? Anytime, no, I think it's like 9:30 to 1:30 your turn. I mean, literally, the damn thing's going down the toilet. I'm just getting tired of. Also, we also know that there's going to be a major problem coming up 2024, everyone. So that's another reason why I'm trying to get you prepped because they say there was going to be a red wave. Okay, so let me see. Where's the 9:30 to 1 p.m.? Okay, so it might be today. Is there a schedule somewhere around here? I want to know if there's a schedule. What's the 2022 summer visit? No dogs at market. Service animals permitted. Of course, service animals are permitted. So apparently it's the first Saturday, which means today's the first Saturday, is it, of the month? Let me look. I can't even remember. For me, some of you preppers out there, remember what I told you guys also. It's 9:30, so I got to get washed up and then get moving. So want to get some of those breakfast sausages. So let me see. My planner is, here we go. Let's see. First Saturday of the month is today, yeah. So yes, and I better fix those other things real quick too. Should not. You guys know that when I work, I show you what I'm doing. So water, check. Emails, check. YouTube, check. Planner, check. So tomorrow is the last day of this week, and then I start next week, which means I got to fill in the market of what's going on. So let me see here. For some of you out there, you preppers out there, cane noses, always use a daily planner. Let's tell you exactly what you need to do, how to do it. Keeps your mind busy and works pretty good. Didn't do that yet, so tomorrow I'll get to fill this in as I think about this week's wins. Let's check on this. Yeah, I like these planners, by the way. So I got everything set up for next week or next month. Here we go. Hmm. All right. All right. So starting tomorrow is this week's. All right. Sorry about this, peeps. So as you know, when I get into this is for my prepping channel too. So all right. So hmm. All right. Scientists are working to develop antibody spray with eggs, so you don't need to eat. Yeah, well, I really don't care about antibodies. I'm a hermit, so I've been out twice this week, so if I get sick, I get sick. What do you say, Boon Boon, huh? Oh yeah, you're a good little bud. Anyways, I need to find tighter shirts. This one's getting loose on me, and I don't want to show my belly. I'm thinking of making Rumble, yes. I'm toying with the idea, but I haven't done it yet because, frankly, I'm going to the farmer's market today. When I get done with this video, I'm going to the farmer's market, Kane, so I can buy some vegetables and some fruit, see what they have available. Rumble account. I put that down my thing to look into. Look into Rumble account. Yes. Oh. Yeah, so anyways, with only 4 people, no comments, I gotta do 2 things. A, I gotta find me a new shirt. And B, I gotta get moving, you know. Kane Cordova, General, and Aries. Yes, Higgins. I was about to give you a ring anyways, Higgs. So I gotta wash my face up. My plan currently is I gotta wash my face up, people. Then I gotta get prepared to go to the market as soon as I find my phone. I don't know where my phone is. I want to call Higgins for a minute. Gotta discuss business with him. You know, one of the things is Higgins and I. Well, let me just put it this way. I gotta tell you guys a story, okay? Where is my phone? My pocket last night, did I not? You don't know. Chloe took it. Yep. Or it could be in your pocket. Yep. It's right here, I think. No, that's Candy Dip. No, it's right here. Let me tell you a story, okay? Me and Higgins were talking, and I always put him on little projects. He's got a funny sense of humor at times, but because of his sense of humor and the sense of time, because I have to get moving, I want to wash my face up. And then I want to blueberries are good immunity, maybe. You know, you remind me of Zoe Kane. She talks about blueberries. I think it's blueberries or raspberries. No, I think it might be strawberries. It doesn't matter. She's busy this morning. So I have to get going, okay? I'm behind schedule now. I wasn't going to make these videos this long, okay? So, Higgins, stand by on the phone. Chris, hope you have a great day. Higgins and I forgot to tell you guys the story before I go, okay? So I send Higgins these projects to do. Beginning of the month, I send him a gift card for him taking care of some prepping issues for me. He keeps me informed of the prepping channels when I'm out and about. Keeps me informed on other things, so he's a good ally when it comes to it. So I send him a gift card. I already did this. Let me see, my email came in. Look, I'm going to let you guys duke it out in the live chat between you two. What is what, because frankly, I'm not going to have you guys argue over what is what, okay? I don't care for blueberries myself, but that's between you guys. So blueberries have bugs. That's one thing I frankly don't care. I don't eat blueberries. Again, I know Higgins will say, oh, well, it is my problem. No, it isn't, because frankly, I don't buy blueberries. But for the rest of you out there, I do got to get going. Farmers market doesn't get done by itself. Let's check the weather before I go. But the thing is I need to get moving. I can't be here all day tying up my time because I have to get out, and my main thing is I want to make sure I get out today to get some stuff done. So I will be calling Higgins. Then I will be going out to farmer's market because I really want to get my little sausage rolls this morning. I don't care about blueberries. I want my damn sausage rolls. That's one reason why I'm going to town this morning is my damn sausage rolls. And to get my exercise before it decides to rain. So I'm checking the hourly forecast to know when it starts raining so I can get in and get out. And that means going to Ace Hardware too. So it's going to rain at 12. So I got till 12 o'clock and then it stops and then 6 o'clock. So 12 and 6. I will be back a little later to give you guys an update probably of my farmer's market experience today. I just want to make sure to get my farmer's market set up for my sausage rolls. These little sausage rolls, oh my God, they're to die for breakfast. You get something like that and you're in like a little piece of heaven. Yeah, little piece of heaven, I tell you. And then I got to go to Ace because I'm going to be making and for some of you guys out there, I'm going to double check the preppers list. For some of you guys, as you know, preppers lists are here. Groceries, all out of, and grocery list. So I'm using the all out of this week for our first all out test. Seems pretty good. Yeah, I was thinking of pretzels. Higgins was talking about pretzels. Pretzels and cheese sauce. I was thinking of pretzels and cheese sauce today, but I got to burn off those excess calories if I eat pretzels and cheese sauce. So, I'm not washing anything in salt. As a matter of fact, as I told Cordova earlier, I don't, King Cordova, I don't eat eggs. So technically, I try to avoid breakfast, but I do have this thing for those little sausage rolls. So, Anyways, my phone's going to be turned on soon, Higgins. I'll give you a ring. We'll talk about some stuff, and then I'm going to the farmer's market. So in the meantime, I need to wash up my face. I will be back a little later. Hopefully you found this video to be good. I'm trying to make them under 10 minutes, 15 minutes tops. I don't want to make it an hour long, even though you guys are in this morning. I just want short videos because I'm trying to build my subscriber base up and only tackle the real problems at hand right now, which does not include misinformation by YouTube's own standards. So I'm trying to basically focus on World War III, Civil War, nuclear war, and the banking collapse. Now, if any of things don't happen, well, then they'll be flagging all my videos and I'll lose videos again. So I'm being very careful. So in the meantime, I'm also waiting for Discord call. And so there you have it. So anyways, for some of you out there, take care, Kane. Chris, you know how to contact me if you ever want to contact me. You can always email me anytime. I have my email account open at all times. For some of you out there that's new to my channel, hit like, subscribe, thumbs up if you want to donate and you like my content. I take donations. There's a donation link on Amazon. I also take gift cards. No pressure. If you like what I do and you like the preppers list in my About Me page on my YouTube channel, feel free to right click and add it to your cart, whatever it is. Prepper list is almost complete. I want to thank my moderators, Higgins, Fanny, Pee-wee, and myself, as well as Zoe, for helping with making the list possible and adding to it as we add more stuff to the preppers list. So those moderators, I also want to thank Pee-wee and Zoe and Fanny for the wonderful donations, chocolate syrup, coffee pot, other things. Very nice. Thank you. coffee pot is a must. I want to thank you all. Again, Pee-wee for the bedding and the pillows. So, are you guys ready? School's out of session. Please add and subscribe. Please post comments, leave feedback, suggestions, like, subscribe button. Like and subscribe button. Hold some fun for your family, including your dogs, cats, your bunnies, service dogs, service bunnies. Hit the bell notification, thumbs up button, subscribe button, and keep the comments nice is all we ask. Thank you so much for watching. Higgins, stand by. I'll call you. For the rest of you out there, I'll give you guys an update later when I get back from town. Thank you, everyone, and God bless you in everything you do. And enjoy.